All right, you guys, so here's what I decided. Last night, I called my man Taylor, who's the producer shooting this and editing this video, and I said, I need you tomorrow because we got a little project going on here that's worthy of documentation. So here's what's going on. We're doing the entire landscape. Our biggest feature is a water feature that myself and Jeff Colton have designed and installed. Now, he's a water feature pro. This is all he does. Puts in water features, works with rock every day, day in, day out. So he and I are gonna communicate. We're gonna take you guys on the journey so you can see how this thing goes together, what it's all about, and you guys get to see what the yard looks like. Sound good? I thought so. Our creek bed, imagine it coming from this rock straight down the middle into that pit. We can wiggle into all that room. This is the basin where we're gonna hide our pump. So we have to have a pump that's gonna push our water all the way up to the top and bring it down the waterfall. And that pump is gonna sit within this entire reservoir, but we wanna know exactly where it's at in the reservoir so we can go in there and find it so if we have to service it. So we're gonna put it inside of this, but all the water in this is gonna travel into this because next we're gonna drill a bunch of holes into here and we don't have a bottom anymore. So water will fill up inside the reservoir. As the builder was building these homes over here, they were moving all the rocks that were unwanted into this lot. And when I came to look at this yard, I said, yeah, we want all these boulders. I thought we could do a dry creek bed, but that's kind of boring because it's dry. So if you can give that some life and have some water in it, it just made sense. So the yard lent itself to what we're doing. And ideally, we put it together a beautiful enough landscape that nobody cares about the scratches on the rocks and you don't even really see them. Pour some buttermilk on them and let it grow some moss. All the way up to the top. Yep. After the rubber liner, we can start putting rock on top of this liner and start building out the creek. Nobody wants to see black rubber, so we have it there so that it can actually hold our water and allow our water to start up here at the top, run all the way down into the basin, and recirculate and keep doing it continuous. All right, we got our rubber liner down and we're now setting boulders. The key to setting boulders and giving your client a design is that they're expecting the design. So, in my water feature over here, I've got all these gray boulders. So I'm just counting up and around the water feature to the bridge. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20 boulders. So that's what we're going for, guys. Let's get 16 or 17 more boulders set. All right. You at least follow the drawing and you have your boulders where they are on the drawing, and then ideally you have a few more and everything looks copacetic. It's pretty trick. I mean, even designing it, I knew that it was going to be a little out there, so I'm looking forward to seeing it actually come to fruition.
That's a big boy right there.
Right there. There we go. Come on. See how we did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, whatever. We did good. The difference between you and me is you fill it in with rock. I'm bringing plants into it. Yeah. Because what they wanted was Hawaiian wine country fusion, which means They want country, but they want it to look lush and tropical. You're rock face waterscapes, and I'm a landscaper.
That's why we work there together.
Yeah, this is great. You said all the difficult stuff. I couldn't have done that, so thank you. So we've pretty much got what I needed to get done today. You know, we've got our layers of hardware cloth, the underlayment, the rubber liner, and we got the critically placed boulders on top of the liner. We'll come back on Monday, we'll finish setting the boulders, and we'll get this thing to look like a wonderful dry creek bed, and then it's just time to turn on some water. You guys should come back and check it out. As this is washing the rocks, you want to get all the dirt in here, and then I'm going to put a submersible pump in here and actually pump all the dirty water out of here. That's how you clean your fountain. You suck all the water out, you fill it up with fresh water, you're good. You don't need to put chlorine or anything like that in it. These blocks here are just to support our bridge. We put it here, it fits and looks great. And what we have to do is just continue to tweak the stream bed and then build the faux stream bed as a continuation of this all the way down and around. Over here in Northern California, it's very popular to have a dry creek in your yard. This yard's benefit is that it's going to have a huge dry creek, except there'll be a switch at their kitchen island, and when they hit that switch, the waterfall will come on, and then we're going to have an urn pot fountain right over there by all that orange string. That'll be 2 water features and a dry creek bed. So if the switch is on, you've got animation and water. When the switch is off, you've still got a beautiful dry creek throughout the landscape. Today it's supposed to be 100%. Mainly what we're trying to do here is we're trying to emulate nature and make this yard look natural. So you'll resume back on the rock bordering, deco rock placement, and you two are going to make sure that that water feature is working and we're not leaking anymore. Sound like a plan?
All right.
Cool, let's get it done. All right, now while the crew is doing these last minute touches, I want to actually show you guys what the yard consists of. So John and Betsy have a huge backyard in which they can play, they can entertain, they can have guests. John does a lot of walking and looking and hanging out. Betsy is the one that likes to tinker and garden. So of course we've given her a bunch of raised beds. She's got 3 over here, she's got 3 over in the other end of the yard. The idea was to create enough hardscape. They were first thinking that they wanted DG throughout the entire yard. I was like, you guys are crazy. DG is great. I mean, I know you enjoyed it at the wineries, but when you have it in your home or around your home, you're gonna track it into your wonderfully new wooden floors, and you're not gonna like it. So instead, we put crushed volcanic rock, which will not track and is too large to be lodged into your shoes. So you can come out here to the garden, harvest some goods, take that right back into the house. Everything's good. We did still give them some DG areas, so we've created a patio over here. This is just a small patio for like a bistro set. You can put a little table, some chairs over here. You can hang out, listen to the water, look at the yard space. You can do all of that. As you're walking on over here, you get to walk by the creek. Don't forget, you get to cross over a bridge and actually have water underneath your feet. Another benefit to the landscape is that while you have the water feature over there, the house is way over on this side, which is why we decided to put the urn fountain here, so you can see it from the master bedroom and from the main living space within the house. Both of these are hooked up electronically, so all they have to do is say, hey Alexa, turn on the water feature or turn on the urn, and they both fire up. Pretty cool. We decided to put some flagstone here just so that it would accent the curve, gives you a little something else to look at. The stone is a very similar color tone and harmonious with the hardscaping. And then when you're over in this area, you get to have an outdoor kitchen where you get to talk to folks inside and say, yeah, I need the sauce. Perfect. And then you're entertaining your guests here. We've got seating on the other side, some under counter lights over there so that you can actually see the chairs, see the ground space, everything is safe. And the most wonderful aspect of this yard, where I was also able to save these guys some money, is they didn't need an overhead structure. They didn't need an overhead structure to create shade for the kitchen, because that shade at the house is going to continue to grow on out here, and right around dinner time, you're in full shade standing here at the outdoor kitchen. Not only can guests entertain and sit here and hang out in chairs and enjoy the the water feature looking like it's coming at them, but then you also have year-round built-in seating because we put this little seat wall in here that separates this space from the secondary garden. We're calling this the herb garden over here. Again, the 3/8 inch mocha lava rock in here. Put some silver planters just to give it a little bit more bling other than redwood. We just wanted to diversify it, not to mention my designer, Sophie Sears, that helped collaborate with me on this yard, probably puts these trough planters in every one of her designs. Don't you, Sophie? So you know Sophie Sears was here if you have the trough planters. John and Betsy have decided they like to put a nice little bench here because they'll get to watch the sunset. They get to enjoy their yard, their space, talk to the neighbors, everything's good. That's what outdoor living and good design and installation is all about. Figure out, what do you really want? Why do you want it? Work with a professional like myself or another one who's capable and competent, and then just get it done. So are we done, John? Because you got the finishers list, right?
We are almost done. It's at the point now where it's just little things to continue to work on. Yeah,
the
details.
Betsy said she would take care of.
Sure.
She puts and she gardens, but are you into the gardening as well?
I am.
He plants, I tend.
We've got quite a plant palette here to work with.
I think there's a lot of tender, loving care that I'm looking forward to a lot.
So yeah, we're going to tend to the details here.
I like it.
And there's a lot of details.
There's a ton of details. So this was great, you guys. I want you to enjoy your yard. What the yard turns into, how the garden develops is now up to you two.
It really is difficult to imagine what it's going to turn out looking like when you're looking at a blueprint. But I would say the bones of the backyard are pretty much what I had in mind. And what we've done since then is the artistry of the plants that went in. We really worked with how it turned out on the bones, the hardscaping, to add the plants to make it really look great.
At nighttime, this yard is magical. When you see how those trees are illuminated, it doesn't look garish at all. It looks very gentle. It looks like you would expect to find in a beautiful place.
It's been an adventure, really, with Ahmed. He's quite a guy. I mean, anybody who's worked with him or knows him or saw him on Yard Crashers, that's how he is. He's very dynamic. He's a lot of fun to be around. He's great. He's knowledgeable. He's a lot of fun to work with, and it's been a lot of fun. We're really going to miss having him around here on a daily basis.
Little babies.
Hey, Ahmed.
What's happening?
Spreading rumors about my plants.
Oh no! I've dubbed that if it's a Sophie Sears design, you're gonna see trough planters in there. But is that not the truth? I mean, it's kind of like your thing, right?
I guess that's pretty correct.
They worked out beautifully.
Yeah, no, I love them. They're easy and they look good no matter
They
what.
look great. So I know what you're thinking, right? You're like, oh, I love that yard. That's what I want to have. And then there's some people who are like, yeah, I wouldn't do that at all. I'd do this and I'd do that. The great thing about doing outdoor living and working with a designer or a design build contractor like myself is that you get to decide what you want in your space. What's really going to work for you, your family, your partner, your friends, whatever it is. One of the things that's interesting about this space for me is that John and Betsy inherited all this rock. I just had to figure out what the hell to do with it. So a lot of times I'll let the landscape tell me what needs to happen. And what was funny is that we used up so much of the rock over here, by the time we got to this garden space, we didn't have any rock. So what you're looking at, you just haven't paid close attention, is really garbage. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you're a real artist, you can take garbage and make it look like art. And that's what I did over here. All these large boulders are not boulders. They're concrete. That's concrete garbage. But all of the concrete garbage in this is in this space. It all matches. We used it as our boulders. It's the same color as our boulders. For me, as far as I'm concerned, it's urbanite. It's an urban boulder. Because if you can put it in artistically and have beautiful plants around it, nobody knows the difference. I'm Ahmed Hassan. I appreciate you guys coming over here, checking out what we had to show you with this space. I'm always open to do any design and installation work for yourself because I had to throw that little shameless plug in there. But thanks for really checking out the video. I hope you like it as much as I enjoyed doing it and sharing it with you. That's it. I gotta get back to work. Anybody can make something look good on the outside. In order to make it really work and stand the test of time, you better know what the hell you're doing.
not everyone can make it look good. Look at 80% of the landscapers' websites and go to their water features, and then go to mine.
But that's because